Hey everyone, Dave Cottingham here with Russell Johnson.
I'm here with Dave Cottingham.
And this is Dead Edition. And we're talking about episode 14 of The Walking Dead, Twice as Far. Initial reaction?
I don't think there was any zombies that needed any kind of soy sauce, but...
Thanks, yeah. Sporting the love, soy sauce.
I thought it was a good episode. Again, they're going a long way to get to that very last scene that really sells the whole episode for me personally. But not that any of it was really bad. It wasn't bad before that, but again, it's more of this building of people taking on new roles, changing their character, growing, which is great. It's been happening in really quick batches right now, though. Yeah. Everybody's kind of having these moments of growth and love and concern, and just all these things are happening. And they punch in the face at the end of the episode, which they did here, quite literally, almost. I thought it was an excellent episode. Really shocked at how the ending. Really shocked at the ending, which I shouldn't be shocked by endings now anymore, but I still am with Walking Dead. So, what did you think?
I really loved the episode because the way it started was pretty much along the lines of the book, and I thought, oh wow, this is going to be it for one of them, you know, because of how the book went. So watching it and seeing how so the two groups go out, and it's like you, very shocked on what happened, because basically the events of this really are new. Everything in here is pretty much new. So no, very shocked, very saddened a little bit at the end, and thought it was a very good, well-acted episode overall.
Did you think you'd be affected? Well, we're spoiler show, so
spoilers, absolutely.
You have 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about this. If any character dies, like we always said, it had to be a major character for us to really be affected by it. But for whatever reason, I'm like you. I was a little saddened by Denise getting shot in the skull.
Yeah.
I don't know really why. Because she hasn't been she's had a couple big scenes in episodes, like when she was with the wolf. That was like her little moment with that. She's had some other, but she hasn't really been a huge part of or major storylines going through this thing. This was her storyline, and they offer it.
I know.
But they did a good thing, or it got the reaction I'm sure they wanted, was when Daryl and Rosita were out with Denise, and they're in that apothecary. Yeah. And they hear a sound, and it was like, it's stuck.
Don't do it.
Let's just keep going. Yeah. And she's like, I'm gonna go take my knife out. It's like, what are you doing? Just stay where you are, But that's the reaction they wanted. I mean, you got to have that because Denise has never been out there. They said, how many days were you out there when it all happened? What'd she say? Zero. She was out none. She's never been around this kind of danger or not been in a safe place. I mean, everything's changed for her, yes, but she hasn't had to do what Rick Scroops had to do. So even for her to go in the car to get the cooler that had the soda in it, I mean, I would have been as pissed off as Daryl and Rosita, like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
But her little speech at the end about why she did it, and then to have it end, a lot of people online were saying the Abraham Denise. So we'll go back to the comics. You tell people how this relates to the comics.
Yeah, in the comics, just like how it did in this, kind of start out where Abraham and Eugene go out to do a scavenger hunt a little bit, and they come across some of the saviors that now in the book, same way, Arrow gets shot through the back of the head, and he continues talking, and then finally falls over and dies, But in the book, it's a crossbow from Dwight that is actually his crossbow.
Yeah, right? So Dwight has a crossbow in the comic book because there's no Daryl.
That's right.
Remember that.
That's right. So that happened. That's why I was saying, like, when it started, I'm like, oh man, is this Abraham's gonna get killed this episode or what? But like, again, they do a good job of creating the same deaths, but for different characters. Right. Just like Herschel got killed the way Tyrese got killed in the book, and I'm sure there's a couple others, but some they went on the same line, like Pete and and what's the girl? The mom just got eaten. And her son Sam.
Oh,
and,
so, yeah.
And her. So those are similar.
Right.
Those are similar paths. But no, there's. So that's why the big question is when Negan shows up, who's going to be? Is it for a spoiler again? Is it
Right.
Glenn in the book?
Right.
Issue 100, or is it somebody else? So that's where we're.
Yeah. And
That's what we're heading towards.
There was another turning point in the show that was a turning point in the book too. Is when Eugene and Abraham find Eugene reveals to
Yes.
Abraham, I think I can make bullets, because bullets are becoming scarce. Nobody's making them, right? So there's not an unlimited supply of those things, and
Right.
they've never really addressed that. They have a couple times like, don't use your bullets because it makes too much noise. Really, is what they were saying. They didn't really say because we don't have enough ammunition. So this is the first time it's been addressed that, hey, we have a commodity that everyone will want, and Eugene even said it's going to become like the new cash.
Yes,
like
correct.
it's actual currency at this point. To say we have bullets, you have nothing. You can't even. It's the easiest way to protect yourself. So I thought that was cool. But
Now, I don't remember that happening this early in the book, though. I don't think, right? I don't
think it did.
I think it was later.
Yeah, I think in the book too. I think he was talking to Rick initially
Correct.
and saying, "Look, we could."
Yeah.
Because in the show, he's like, "We got to go take this and tell Rick."
Yeah.
And then he had the confrontation where with the metalhead Walker guy. That was unique.
That was unique.
Walker.
Yeah.
In
Totally.
this metal shop covered, you couldn't get to his brain conventionally. So that was interesting. And then Eugene and Abraham's little tiff there.
Yeah.
So, at the end we saw Dwight. Now Dwight, if you guys remember, you might not remember because it's hard to. You go back to when his first appearance was, and you and I talked about this when he first appeared on the show. He didn't have the scar he has now.
Yep.
And we're like, so that's Dwight, and he's running from the Saviors.
Right.
He was hiding from the Saviors, from the girl who needed the insulin.
Correct.
Right. But again, everything is Negan's, so you take it, you're going to pay for it. And I think that's may have been the situation. Like they're maybe part of the Saviors, but they're running because he was trying to save this girl from
Right.
getting
Being part of Negan's,
reprimanded him. That plays out. That'd be interesting to see too. But so now we see the scar on him. His hair's longer, and he looks more like the Dwight from the comic book.
Yes.
So he's got the crossbow. That was a nice little nod there. And they also did something from the comic book that was in the show, and everybody's got to remember this. Was when Eugene, who's tied up on his knees
Yes.
in front of Dwight, decides to
Take a bite.
Yeah, take a bite out of crime. I don't know, but he took more than a bite. He was on there for a while. And it's like that in the comic book too. And it was like kind of a very shocking moment there, but obviously it's distraction, and there's everybody escapes. And but what do you how do you think this is going to what's going to be I didn't even get much from next episode, because now we have Carol.
Yeah, I was about to hit on Carol.
talk about her a little bit.
Because this is that was an odd part for me as far as watching it. This episode was seeing Carol change so rapidly in the last episode, because she was this woman that was very strong and very behind Rick on even telling Rick several times, you need to kill him, you need to kill him, you need to do this, you need to do that. And all of a sudden now she doesn't want to do it anymore. She doesn't feel like she's, before she got exiled by Rick, now she's volunteering to leave.
Right, yeah.
I feel like she's got another motive, but because I just don't see how she would just turn her back on this whole thing and kind of see if she can survive on her own. I don't know, but so not exactly sure what's happening.
Yeah, I would think. I guess I kind of understand her reasons for leaving, but you would think that if she didn't want to kill anymore and she didn't want to have to fight, that she'd stay put.
Right.
Become the mom of Alexandria if you're going to do that. Yeah. Why put yourself in all this danger where you'd have to fight to survive? It's kind of like what I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of like you. It was a very kind of. It was very off. It didn't feel right because again, with the Q, Carol was at one point. Everyone thought she was tougher than Rick.
Correct.
Like she was the toughest one of the whole group.
Yeah.
When she started off as the weakest, being her husband who abused her and all that stuff. So now she's the toughest, and now she's kind of complacent and just.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with her at all.
Where they're going with her.
I'm not sure, but that was an odd twist. So they only did it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Really. And then the rest of the show was the whole Denise thing, pretty much, and Abraham and Eugene centric. And then we get the whole death at the end, and then knowing that Negan's somewhere still lurking.
Well, she was still there, I think, when they were burying Denise, right? I think
Yeah.
because that was that's an interesting turn too for Daryl, is that, you know, he even said it last episode, I think it was, where he's like, I should have killed that guy. Mm-hmm. And now, even more so, he should have killed the guy, because he ended up with the crossbow, he ended up killing Denise. Mm-hmm. So I think he's got even more regret and more determination to kill these guys. So did you, one more thing before we wrap it up is, see, at first for a while there, I wasn't exactly sure that they were part of the Saviors. Like, it felt like Dwight was kind of on his own still, even though I know he had to go back because that's probably what happened to him with Negan, but there was no mention of Saviors. The only thing they mentioned was, you need to take us back so we can take what we want, not set up some barter system, like, you know, like protection system like they usually had with all the other groups. So at first I was like, are they actually with the Saviors? Or, you know, I don't know, because again, spoiler in the books, Dwight does have that time where he's like questioning why he's with Negan. Right.
You know, he does.
He flip flops and stuff. So
even though he's technically Negan's right hand man for part of the book anyway, so yeah, he's always been that kind of. I don't know, because we didn't see him prior to him with the whole face thing, so that's new. So that could be. I'm sure we're gonna hear about it. But I can see your point. I can see your point how it looked like. I mean, to me, it's just because I know. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. I mean, I can't really get past that in my head. But I can see how people could view it and be like, well, are they part of the Saviors or not? Because they don't. Because episode prior to that, all they did was talk about being part of the Saviors and Negan. We're all Negan and all that stuff. So that was definitely
more.
That's
the only part I felt like.
Yeah, I can totally see your point there. But one quick thing too is we found out why Denise liked Daryl so much. Mm-hmm. She one episode, she gave him that cookie or whatever it was to eat, and he's like, I'm not eating that, and she's like, you just remind me of somebody. And then we find out that Daryl reminds her very much of her twin brother who died early on in the whole fall of all the zombies and everything.
Civilization,
so she's got an attachment to him, and to see her, I think I kind of, once Daryl knew that, like why she kind of was drawn to him, that when she did die, it was a little more sad. Yeah. So I was a little surprised with myself. I was shocked. I was a little saddened by that. Yeah. Like, oh, poor Denise. She didn't do anything wrong. She was kind of just she helped Carl.
And as Dwight said, he actually hit her by accident. He wasn't aiming at her.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So it's like bad luck that you're sitting there.
Exactly. I didn't mean to kill her, but I'm proving a point. But that's kind of what, the thing that makes me, again, it's kind of stuck in my head because I know that Dwight is part of this group. He says kind of what Negan says in the comic book. He's like, I have to do this. I had to kill one of you because I had to make my point.
Right.
Right. And that's kind of what he was saying. He wanted to be Daryl, but he's like, I'll take whoever I get, but I'm just going to prove to you I'm serious. And that's kind of what Negan's like. And hopefully what we're going to see in the season finale is that Negan's doing what he's going to do to make a point.
To make a point, yeah.
So
last thing I'll mention is we get one scene where we see what Morgan has been building. That scene where Rick comes in and Morgan says, it's just an option. Now, again, I think most of us know who's going to end up in the cell, but we'll keep that for a later date. But any thoughts on what he's building and what he's still holding on to?
Well, I think it goes back to when that episode where he met the guy who changed him.
Correct.
And I think it's a throwback to that, and he's trying to. It's a good option to have, because if you can get somebody in your group and you can't trust them, do what that guy did. It's like, I'm gonna
lock you up,
but until we get to know each other, once you figure things out, don't treat them bad because they're locked up. Just it's a protective measure without having to resort to violence. Is what it boils down to. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so only 2 episodes left. One episode next week, and then the season finale, which is now a 90-minute episode.
It's now a 90-minute episode.
So a lot's going to happen in that episode.
I'm pretty sure someone's going to die. That's all.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Next week,
it's a guess on my
next
part,
week we will definitely throw out our final predictions on who one person that we're thinking is going to meet Lucille.
And
up,
we
up
both
close and
changed.
personal.
We've kind of flip flopped after these past couple episodes a little bit.
Yeah, I have personally, I've ruled out Glenn. I do not think Glenn is going to die at the end of the final episode.
I still have, again, I still think that there's a slim chance that happens, only because they've done so much different stuff this season.
They go
Kirkman
back
may
to,
say, we're going right back to the comic book. I don't know.
That would be a good surprise. Cool surprise,
I do think they're going to at least make it seem like he's going to get killed that whole episode.
That's true, yeah.
Like they're going to be like, oh, no, and then he doesn't, or something. Just so all the comic fans will go, oh, no, there it is. And
they've done that. And they've done that all season. He's almost died like 5 times this season.
So I still think there's a chance, but I do have more people that, since these past couple episodes, I'm starting to think more would be an option based on what they've done so far.
Right.
So where it might not be Glenn.
All right.
So.
All right, we'll see you guys next week when we review the 15th episode, right leading up to the season finale. So let us know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. He's Russ.
He's Dave.
See you next week.